Hello, welcome to A Simple Life with Cal and Herman.
Why you run? You're gonna buy a key.
We got a leak over there. And Christine and Charlotte and the boys, myself, Cal. Today we are gonna be making grape juice. We collected about 110 gallons of grapes. Here they are. And so there's another one right here. And this is our bladder press that we are gonna be using. What happens is you turn this on, and when you turn this on, it lets the water in and the bladder starts blowing up. Okay, and you let the air out right here. This lets the air out. Here comes the water. There you go. So there's the water. So I'm gonna turn the water off so we don't pressurize this. But now this is pretty much primed and ready to go. We can let a little bit of the pressure out down here because this isn't showing any pressure, but this is how we let the water out. So I'll let some of that pressure out, and the top's all, this has no air in it now, and so I'll let some of this out, and since there's no air in it, this whole bag will just kind of suck down, and that'll allow us to put a bunch of grapes in, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Thanks for joining us today. So here we go. This is what it looks like when it's full. I don't end up emptying the pressings out every time. I find I get a little bit more juice, and because you don't get a complete, it doesn't press them all the way to the side. So I just push them down, I put some more on top. I do that like 4 or 5 times. And then I come back and we end up emptying them all out, and I put them in a 55-gallon drum, and then right there, and then I feed them to the pigs. So right now with it set up, I'm gonna put the top on, and what that ends up doing is, like I was mentioning, it keeps it from splattering and hitting everybody in the face. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the water on, and I'm gonna start letting any air no air built up. So we've got the water on, and what's happening is that bladder is slowly filling up, and you're gonna start to see juice compile right down in here, and it'll start coming out. You take it up to the shoulder. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. It starts going really quick, and I can actually turn the pressure off on the valve, and it'll keep going.
How does it keep going when the valve's off?
Because there's still pressure built up. So see the valve's off, so if I turn this valve back on, it's gonna start building up that pressure again, and you'll see, there it goes again. All right, hold on. Yeah. You just take the jug. So what this valve does right here is this is a pressure relief. So if this gets above, I think it's 3 bars, then this will start draining water. So you can see it's dripping right now, and it's dripping because of the fact that we're getting at a pretty high pressure, which means we're pretty much done with these grapes. We'll probably end up with maybe another ½ gallon. How many? We got 4 gallons so far, yeah. So we might end up with a little bit more. I don't think we're gonna end up with much more. So we end up with like 4.5 gallons for this pressing. And I forgot about this bag, and this is the bag that keeps you from being completely covered with grape juice by the end of the day. All right, so this is what it looks like as it drains down, and you can just push the grapes down a little farther. This is what we do, and you can see how far down they get pushed. You push them all the way, almost all the way to the bottom. And the reason I do push them down is because you end up getting, and you can see the bag will suck in as the water downhill pulls a vacuum on the bag. And then when I shut this, I can actually get a little bit more grapes in there than I did the last time because the bag's been sucked in. So yeah, we do that, and then we just fill it up. Maybe get, yeah, a couple more bunches. Sometimes the flow ends up being so fast that it'll actually overrun the funnel. So I do end up controlling a little bit of it, but for the most part, it just kind of plots along. It's usually really at close to the end when it kind of gets that maximum flow rate that it does that. And we're only right now just barely breaking it a quarter of a bar. So we're not anywhere close to that. Okay, so I wanted to show why you need the green tarp and you need the screen, and this is why. Because the grapes get squeezed right between the stainless steel mesh, and so if you don't have the tarp, you get sprayed with goo and it's like jam all over you. And if you don't have the mesh, then all that will run down and end up getting in your 1 gallon containers or your juice containers, whatever. And I'm not showing you guys this how to do it. This is just how we do it. So we're done with 155 gallon container of grapes, and we got about 25 gallons of grape juice out of it. I'm gonna take all the grape pressings and we're gonna put them in a 55 gallon drum. This is the complete 55 gallon drum of grapes right here. It's all in here. And so I just keep putting it in, and then we start over. And this little guy's enjoying probably your second or third mug of grape juice, because why not?
Delicioso.
Yeah, I bet.
I want to give a real shout out to Freedom Project Academy. It's an online academy and it is amazing. And when I say it is amazing, you hear the questions and the inquisitive nature of Clay and Clint, and Colette is also very inquisitive. But you hear Clay, he's always asking questions, and right there, he doesn't realize where that came from, but he started Latin as a second grader this year. And so he already knows all kinds of little words, and he's starting to realize that there's words that he's heard, and then he hears the English version and he knows that they come from the same origin. Anyways, I just want to give a shout out to that school. I am so blown away with the progress that our kids have made. So, what an amazing day. All of us got to see and taste the output of hard work and labor through the course of a year, and we end up being able to enjoy this for the rest of the year. For Clint and Clay, I thought it was really important for them to have this moment. They were so proud of all the hard work they'd done, and that Christine had come up, because she doesn't come up all the time, and she was able to enjoy it with them. You could see the pride on their faces as they showed them the big barrels of grapes they'd helped pick. What an amazing moment for them and the accomplishment they were able to show their mother.
All right, so we're done, and we got 49 gallons for 110 gallons of grapes. So the juice turned out really good. It's really delicious. I wish the Stuyvesants, which is another one of the grapes that we have here, I wish they were ripe. They weren't ripe this week. They're just not ripe enough. They weren't sweet enough, and I didn't want to put them in and have the juice be sour, a little on the sour side. I like the juice. I'd rather have the juice on the really sweet side, and then you just water it down a little, put a little water in it, and it tastes delicious. The Stuyvesants taste a lot like an artificial grape. And what I mean by that, if you've ever had like a high chew grape candy, the Stuyvesants taste just like that. To the point where it actually feels bad when you eat them. You're like, oh my God, this is so delicious. So we're done. We have about a half a drum of pressings. So these will go to the pigs. And then I have the stainless steel container, the cloth, and this in here. I'm gonna take this to our place and wash them. I have a power washer down at our place, so it'll be easy to clean up that stainless steel and it'll look nice. We're gonna clean up our hoses and then we're gonna be done. Okay, well, thank you for joining us today on A Simple Life. See you guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.